Our students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again with another video. And excuse the mess in the back because that's just how the studio rolls. You get messy when you do a lot of work. So anyway, got another video for you guys, and I got news on the 360 handbook. It is actually out. I'll give you, I'll leave the address and the link where you can pick it up. It's at Amazon. It's on Amazon. So I ordered a couple copies for myself to get that final thing. But at the end of the video, I will leave a link to where you can go and pick up a book. So in this video, I do a little more teaching. I said to myself, you know, I can't be lazy with you guys. You know, you tune in every week. If you do tune in every week, thank you. So I'm going to start putting more detail in it. It makes the videos a little longer, but if it gets too long, I'll put it on the Patreon channel. But I'm going to always give you guys enough to get not just the gist of it, just to get the handle of it so you can draw as well. Okay, so enough talking. Let's get to the drawing table and get this one started. All right, our students, welcome back to the drawing table again, where I will endeavor to show you guys how I draw, and then you can pick that up and then add it to your style. So basically, we're just putting the pieces together on the body. That's it. You know, once you learn the pieces and what they look like when they turn and so forth, then you're all right. Okay, so continuing with my down to earth, guys, as in a position that's not wild and crazy, something that if you have a character, you can use this position on. You can use your position on any character, but if your character doesn't fly or whatever, does a little Spider-Man stuff, then you wouldn't be able to draw your character. But just like a dynamic, quick on the ground earth pose, because he's on the ground, you could do that. So this guy's gonna be a little tall, so we're gonna do this. I always start out with my torso, center line. That center line is gonna go down to the crotch, depending on which way the crotch is turning. So a lot of times it's an S. To know which line I'm using, because sometimes I'll go too far and my characters will be too tall. Then I'm going to get my waist. And all your waist is just a love handle, depending on where your stomach is going to go down that center line. So your love handles are going to be here and here. It's just how you adjust it. Let me try to darken this a little bit so you guys can see better. I'm trying to draw light so that I don't have to erase too much, which I will. So we're drawing that here, and then we're drawing the upside down house, which is that. And of course, it's going to go on the center line there. Now, if I want to adjust them, then I will like tilt this, make sure that's tilted. You know, if I'm going to tilt this, this is going to be tilted that way, and it's going to be tilted down like that. You just have to figure that out depending on the position you draw. So he's not really tilted. So let's get rid of this. And that's not the collarbone. That's just guidelines for me to know that he's tilting. This is going to be the collarbone right here, right there. And then the chest is going to go right in the center. Then I'm going to do this. Let's just call it a mountain for where the stomach goes inside the rib cage. So where this hits and that hits, this is going to be the turn in the body. Okay, it's going to be just as much turn there as there. So now you pretty much have it. So I'm going to bring this down and this down too. This is my stomach, and this leaves this, which is my love handles, your love handles. All right, so this is going to curve down and around. So we have this hip, and we're going to put the leg like this way. And it's a little long, but I'm just roughing it for now. And the other leg is going to go back. So to me, this is really tight. So what I'm going to do is just kind of quickly find my position, find the basic position that I'm looking for, that I'm trying to get. My form, that's what I'm trying to say. And then come back and then do that again. So this should be out more. I want this out a little more, kind of like he's walking and then he noticed something. And this leg, you're going to see part of that leg behind it. And you notice I'm just using shapes, ovals. I'm not trying to draw anything concrete yet. I'm going to see if this is going to work the way I want it to work. And you see the different lines I use because I'm drawing fast now versus kind of slow like I was doing when I was showing you guys. This is why a lot of my drawings, if you see them, they're really tight. The early stages anyway, because I was drawing really slow, trying to teach you guys from the beginning, from the basics. Okay, so now you have this circle, you have this left over. This is going to be the delts, traps, delts. This is the delts. If I think too hard, I lose it. So I'm going to put this V wherever that neck is going to go. So then I'll take my head and I put my head wherever. This body's still not twisted the way I want it to because I was drawing slowly. But I'm going to work with it. There's my neck. And I'm drawing, if I'm drawing a man, I'll have my head and my neck is going to come right down along the side of my face. If you're drawing a kid, your neck is going to be under the face. And same for a female, but I'll point the face, make the face pointy, bring it out, almost like you're drawing a balloon. And then the neck is going to be small too, but the shoulders are going to curve around. For a kid, like that. For a man, it's going to be like that. Okay, give me a few seconds to look at that again. Now, with this is the chest. This. And as I said in the last video, a lot of times if you see drawings that you say, oh, that's a nice drawing, I want to do that. If you really study them, they don't use all three. A lot of times they'll leave this out. And it just goes from this to the hips. And that's something, once you start to learn more, you realize, okay, I got to get it right. I got to have all my pieces on there because the body will only move so much. A lot of that stuff Spider-Man does is like kind of impossible, but you know, it's comics. So you know, nobody's going to say, oh, he can't do that because it looked good. So I'm going to bring this over some more just to give him a little more turn. Which means this is going to have to come out a little bit more, and this is going to have to go in a little bit more. So whenever you turn the body, and it's something I used to do all the time, I would start it out like this. You know, I did this, I call this the beetle because the first time I did it, it reminded me of a beetle. I don't know how. And then have this, it tells you where your turn is. That's going to start for the turn of the chest. But whenever you turn the body, okay, so here's the delt right here. Here's the other delt right there. Whenever you turn that body, here's the sideline. Your delt is not going to be right here. It's going to go into that body. So your delt is going to be in here. And that's something I used to not do for the longest time. And at the end of, after I detailed and shaded it and put all the hatching and whatever in, I would look at it and I would think, something's not right. Something's not right. But I couldn't figure it out because I knew the delt was on the end of the torso. But it took me a long time to realize once you turn, that delt turns in with it as well. If I had the big guy here, I would show you. I don't have the big guy or a little guy down with me. So you just have to believe me. And then the line is going to go in there and separate that delt. The delt is just about as long as the chest, really, because there's another thing I used to make my delt small. And the chest would be way down here, but the delts are about the length of the chest, pretty much. Okay, so let's throw my arm in here. And the arm comes, the elbow comes down around to the belly button, and the wrist is down to the crotch, but that's different when you have your arm out, you know, versus straight down. So that's the thing, you have to kind of like get used to proportions, the length of a proportion. As I said, I wanted him, but I wanted him to kind of, he's kind of like walking, but he stopped because he saw something and he's like preparing to turn and go into battle. But it's still something that you could use as a character. For your character. I'll work with this a little bit because I turned them. I have to take this off. And put him there. Give him a little more. Oblique, or AKA love handle. There's your hip right there. Almost like he's ready to do a dance. Let's see if I throw the leg out. No, then it'll be walking. I don't have to erase it. Then he'll definitely be walking or dancing. He should have had more of a curve, but you know, now that I'm seeing it, but I'll continue for the sake of time. And this is a triangle. This hurts right here. When you draw too much, the pencil hits you right there. Triangle. And I'll lift this up a little bit more because it's going back. And the foot. Just like that. And then where it steps, it's going to be that bend right there. So I'm going to tilt this head. I was put the head in last. Try to put the head in last anyway. Give them a little more arm. And I said that I'm going to start doing the big guys. I don't know if I put them up yet, but I'm going to start drawing the big hulking guys because people like that. Everybody's not the same size. And it shouldn't be. If you have a comic book and you have characters, multiple characters like a team, everyone should not be the same size in that team. Thor is not the same size as Captain America, and Hulk is not the same size as Thor. It just looks better when you do that for a book. By tilting it, it gives him that looking back. He's like, what's going on? And you're seeing some of the neck, and the neck is going to come right down to that V, that point where the two collarbones connect. Do the collarbones connect? They don't really connect, but they come together. Traps. I'm going to do this hand. And by the time this is out, my 360 handbook should be out. So give that a check out at Amazon. At the time I'm doing this, it's not out, but it's being formatted for publication. And so I don't have the address to actually, or the link to actually give to you guys, but It should be out by the time you see this. So just go to Amazon and look up Brian Proctor drawing books. It should be in there. I thought that the Animal Corp was going to be there, but it's not. So it's in a different, I guess it's comic books, since it is a comic book. And of course, always put a weapon in the person's hands. I'm going to break the arm a little bit bigger. So what you do is you just make this rounder, comes in, and you go up that that delt a little bit, and then you put that tricep like that, and it's like doing a step, and it comes down to the elbow, and then it goes into the forearm, same thing. So make this more rounded, and the bicep is actually the smallest muscle, because it's a smaller muscle. The tricep is the bigger muscle on the arm, like that. And that bicep is always going to come to that point somewhere. So you gotta, it's not going to be flat and go in. It's going to kind of almost like a triangle go in, almost go in like that, and you have that tricep. Thank you. Which means you have to make the forearm a little bigger. And then that line that separates the two, make that rounder. And then you start doing your bigger guys. And which I said, I'm going to start doing that. Bring it down just a little bit more. Which goes in here. So you're going to have that dark space right in between there. Your serratus muscle is going to go kind of like from where that hip is up to this point here. It's just an easier way to figure out where it is. And then you have that, it's like a fang, or just think of a knife or something. And then you're going to have, I think it's, you can see 5 like that, and they're curved in. And then your actual ribs come tuck under there, kind of like this. Here's my torso, here's my hips. Here's my, let's just do this. It's going to be like this, curve around to this point. Yeah, what? Did I just lose it? I did. I'm going upside down. I'm still lost. Okay, yeah, sorry. Like a fang. I lost it for a second. And then you're going to have this, and they're going to curve like that. They're going to go in like that. Dark pencil, please. Dark something, please. It's going to go in just like this. And then they're going to come off, the ribs are going to come off of this curved line like that, and then go around up to the point where you have your upside down mountain. But I don't do that because usually you don't see the ribs unless you're like putting both your arms up. If you're putting both your arms up, then that stretches the muscle, and then you'll see the ribs, the rib cage more greater. Yep, so I don't, I might just do this, but I usually don't do that extra piece. I'm just doing that now because I can. And that leads to, you can do this extra one here for this extra mountainous looking piece under the stomach. So, okay, we got going down here. Usually from the rib to the rib is your first ab. I think those are the biggest ones, and your second ones a little smaller. Third ones are, I think, maybe the same size. And then right up under the belly button, which is right about down there, you have the one large piece that goes down into the crotch, one large piece. Yeah, but your stomach is not square like, and there's a lot of curve and movement to it, and that's something I still want to perfect. So usually I have this one coming in and the next one coming out, and this one there. Because when you twist and you turn, there's a lot of there's a lot of beauty into the stomach. Yeah. I just try to draw the muscles. I said this in the last one. I try to draw the muscles in it so that I can know that I've got every piece connected. And then once I get that there, then I try to make sure that they're right. So that's actually going to go up like this realistically. And then you have give it a little more thigh. Comes down to the knee. It's going to go around, in and out the calf. It's going to go in and out, down, and that foot. Now, depending on how the foot is, sometimes I'll put this little curve here, and it kind of like tells me where the foot is. And if it's easier, just use the slice. I don't know what you call it, slice wedge, like this. Let me new sheet. We're going to draw a foot like this, and then up. And then I'll just do this. For the very beginners, just put this little pole in it like that, and then you have a foot, and then you just kind of round it off, dips up in the middle for your arch, and then it curves around. And then it makes it easier. And then if you keep doing that in time, you'll be able to draw a foot without any problem. Now, toes, I don't usually draw toes because my characters don't run around in flip-flops. So, yeah. All right, so we got that. We started erasing some of these extra lines so that you guys can see, because I said to myself, when I'm drawing these drawings, I said I need to give you guys better. I need to do better. I need to not just do a quick rough and throw it out there at you guys. I need to do a little better. If that means cleaning up and adding shadow, then that's what I have to do, which means the videos will be a little longer. But if they get too long, I'll break them up and I'll put them on my Patreon channel, because I know people's attention spans are not that long unless you are just like an dedicated artist. So we got this muscle here. We got a little striation there. Depends on how strong you are. You got some separation in the chest there. Of course, you got this. And I mean, if you really want to get into it, then you get your veins. And your arms. And that like icing on the cake right there. But, you know, that's in the Big Guy series. I don't want to call it a series, but that's in the Big Guy drawings. Give them a little more love handle because they're not that skinny. They're not that, and then they go down anyway. They go right down into the crotch area. But again, if you are drawing, something and you're gonna put clothes on them, then that's a moot point. All of this stuff, the extra muscle and so forth, that's like you don't need it. So yeah, shading, a little bit of shading under here, under the chest, under there. Could shade down here, depending on where the light's coming from. Shading under there, down under here. That back leg, or this part, at least this part, because this would be lit. I could do something like this. Shadow there, not too much right there, and then shadow like right here and in the crotch. I'll do a little angle right there. And of course, just your abs. Like that, and then it depends on the light, you know, how much light you want to put on the, like under the rib cages. Keep your light going in the same direction though. So, okay, that's going to be it. You got good teaching, got a good drawing. It kind of came out. I said I was gonna put a weapon in this guy's hand. Let's just put a sword in the guy's hand, just to say a big chopping sword. In the guy's hand. Thumb is going to go around there, so that's going to separate that. You're going to have that one knuckle, 2, 3, 4, and get a little bit of curve around there to show that he is actually holding something. It's not going to be flat. It's going to be get more of a roundish when you're holding something big. And this, let's just do something like this. He's a Wakandan. I don't know what the Wakandan shield look like. You can do whatever you want. Like I said, he's kind of like walking, and he's like kind of got that look, and that would be good to showcase your character. Doesn't necessarily have to have a shield. He could have another weapon. You have like a little dagger, or you can have the dagger underneath the shield. You drop your shield, you instantly pull out your dagger. Double. That's not a shield. Is not a weapon. It is if it has a point. There you go. So there you go with this one, and leave some comments. I only get like 1 or 2 comments. Let me know what you guys think. Even if you like it, say, hey, I like it. Leave me a thumbs up or something. Because it's like when I go to my comment page, it's like, even though I might get like a couple hundred views and 2 comments, it's like, nobody cares. They don't care anymore. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for keep coming back. And those who do leave comments, that's the reason I keep drawing, because I know that somebody out there cares and wants to see more. All right, so that's going to be it. Later.